All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, doors. Welcome to Of the Devil. This is a game I've heard nothing but great things about, and I haven't watched any of the trailers. Just, it's another one of those where I decide, based purely on vibes, to play. All I've heard is that it's an Ace Attorney-like. Hello, Hollow Mirage, welcome to the stream. And I am starving for Ace Attorney 7 that Capcom just refuses to make. Hello, Dark Raven, welcome to the stream. So, how's it going? I still have a bit of a stuffed nose from my cold. But thankfully it's not affecting my voice. Hey, Olga, welcome to the stream. Alright, let's get started. Episode 0. Yeah, it's an episodic game, so we'll be coming back to this as new episodes release, if I like it. Based on what I've seen of the character, rain sizzles off neon above me. The summer shower creates a noted uptick in the flickering of holograms down the street, and a slight blunting of the night's ambience. Emphasis on slight. Lights, cameras, and constant noise. This city's got insomnia, with the uneven heart rate to prove it. There's no escaping the second-hand nervous energy of it all, but I'm plenty acclimated. Just a wave of worries cresting on the surface while I hold my breath deep below. Besides, a microdose of nightlife anxiety suits my mood just fine. 'Cause if I'm not careful, this client of mine's gonna die in jail. Morgan is her name. Criminal attorney. It's hard to get away with murder these days. People are still presumed innocent, at least on paper. But by the time they're in cuffs, there's hardly any shadow of doubt left. Because this whole world's lit up, mapped out, never unknown and always online. Whether it's incandescent or neon, or hollow. Whether it's LCD, LED, or just the nearest phone screen. There's light shining on every last pixel of the map. And someone's always watching. Solitude's a rarity. Anonymity is scarce. And criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. So you take whatever clients you can get. You don't balk at public defender work no matter the hour. And should you find yourself in one of the last dark, quiet corners left in the whole world, well, smoke 'em if you've got 'em. Not that there's much else I can do until my phone. Counselor, your public defender contract has been approved. You are expected at the 254th precinct. Present your ID at the door to enter. This is my aesthetic. I love the aesthetic. Arrive at least 15 minutes early. I hate it when they say that. You know that they're gonna make you wait at least a half hour whenever they say that. Oh my god. I'll try. Looks like the paperwork came through. It's nearly 3:15 now. 90 minutes since I took the job. Probably makes it about 2 hours since they finally got smart enough to ask for a lawyer. If they're really smart, they'll have to use that time to get some rest. Because now that I'm here, things are going to get busy. Of the Double Episode 0. And he shall appear. Disable tutorials, no! I just started playing. Why would I disable them? Precinct 254. It's a goddamn ghost town. With nothing but a hologram for a welcoming party. I'm here about a homicide. High clearance rates be damned. You'd think they'd treat it with a little more gravitas. But whatever. If I'm that unimportant, they've got no right to complain if I take my sweet time getting checked in. And I should take my time. Information's like cash in my line of work. You gotta spend it to make it. And if you're flat broke, no one will give a shit what you have to say. So let's see if I can poke around and shake some change loose. Here, you press the phone button or tap the phone icon on the top left. Okay. No auto advance, no auto scroll. Okay. You'll earn credit for investigating everything you can. Credit with the measure of your information gathering skills and your own credibility, so don't go broke. Ah, I love the chivvy there. A phone is escape. Hello, twat, welcome to the stream. Load evidence articles. Do we have any articles? Nope. Profiles. Zilch. Terms. Holograms. Enabled by specialized projectors or mediums like conductive resin. Holograms are graphic displays that appear three-dimensional to the human eye. When viewed from any part of a face range of at least 180 degrees, an effect known as the Watterson illusion phenomenon. Originally patented in late 2059, Watterson's phenomenon was initially used exclusively in the adult entertainment industry. Holograms had not become widely adopted as an advertising tool until the much maligned holiday season of 2061. After which laws restricting the presence of holograms in public spaces were passed with uncharacteristically universal support. We're sorry to see that you've installed a subroutine on this device to disable and highlight our recommended premium external links. We understand your drive for personalization, but unauthorized tech impacts our ability to serve you the best. Oh god, this is fucking bull. Oh god! Most relevant information possible. Consider disabling your subroutine so we can serve you a more tailored browsing experience. Ah, she's really smart. Ah, that's nice. I love that characterization. Alright, now time to examine everything we can. Is there a difference between observe and examine? Observe, examine, inspect. An actual police lineup. It's like I walked into a museum. Though museums tend to feel expensive. And clean. Dusty, forgotten, probably lots of unpacked boxes. Oh, it's poker chips! This homicide department's more like an attic. Hard to believe they were ever so busy that they had witnesses making IDs in the lobby. Then again, it's hard to believe that they were ever doing lineups in the first place. Are you certain? Wasn't it dark? Did you know that during traumatic events, memory formation is blah 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 blah? Poking holes in that setup must have been like shooting fish in a barrel. All during billable hours. But there's no reason to sow doubt anymore. Not when a modded witness can just submit their testimony as a video recording. Assuming their phone didn't automatically file a police report for them. This medium's cracked in the corner. Looks bad, but my phone's made of the same stuff. And I'm rolling in the dice every time it falls off the sofa. Could probably null the warranty on one of these things with a loud sneeze. At least it's not broken entirely. Even at this hour, it's still dutifully scrolling through its notifications. Looks like the usual 1-to-1 ratio of public health alerts and inoffensive pop culture trivia you always get served at state buildings. But there's a few missing persons, too. 1 year of Silver Plan coverage, courtesy of Caduceus as a reward for any... Silver's no joke. Family must be getting desperate. Damn. Yeah, we got a new glossary term. I'll check that out after I finish inspecting everything. High traffic hallways, utilitarian furnishing, multiple screening stations. Pragmatic brutalism, so textbook it could teach freshman level architecture. Nice. Can almost hear the building drone on and on about concrete and iron and hard right angles. The civil planning equivalent of battle scars. From a fight once so long ago that they're starting to look ridiculous. I'm sure it was all very imposing back when it was first built. But walking in here now with crime rates where they are, feels like a hospice ward for heavy-handedness. A data pad? I'll bite. Even when they're more advertisement than article, they can still be informative. In a flowery and roundabout corporate propaganda sort of way. But not for articles. Let's see. Phone's reading list. I see. Choose the proper take. Oh, that's really cool. Ah, that is so cool. Oh my god. Reading comprehension. Subway fixes axed. City to refocus on canopy. Declaring the subway tunnels to be irreparably flooded. City engineers announced this week that all plans to drain and repair the system were being suspended indefinitely. Saltwater damage to sensitive electronic cabling and erosion of key tunnel fixtures were cited as reasons for why 89% of the subway system was evaluated as critically compromised or worse. Civil engineering efforts will be refocused on maintenance and expansion of the hybrid super infrastructure system that weaves together trams, highways, walkways, and skyscrapers into the canopy high above our city streets. Reactions to the announcement could be characterized as blasé. It's been years since the subways last ran, and decades since they last ran on schedule. Most citizens have long since given up hope on them ever making a comeback. Online chatter barely reacted to the announcement, with most commenters and voters' attention focused instead on the growing investigations into Councilman Long's campaign finance irregularities. As one of the canopy's major backers in City Hall, Long has often found himself at odds with a small but vocal group of critics that consider it to be an eyesore and amplifier of light and noise pollution. And with Long having stepped away from his political duties in order to more fully cooperate with investigators for the first time in nearly 20 years, the typically rock-steady political foundation of the canopy was looking uncharacteristically shaky going into this week. With the subways now officially no longer an option, people and corporations alike have little choice for how long they complete their morning commute. How they complete their morning commute. However, not all reactions to the news have been negative. At least a few bold individuals see the latest report as vindication, and possibly even a rallying cry. already considered by many to be a rising star in infrastructure solutions abroad, tech startup Subterra made headlines last year with their radical proposal for a system of personal submarine taxi pods that could make use of the flooded subway tunnels. But momentum stalled when their first prototype for the city came in at a disappointing 3,359% over budget. Oh my god. Though one council member was quoted as calling the system mind-bogglingly wasteful and impractical to the extreme. In light of this latest announcement, Subterra has proudly declared their intent to resubmit their proposal package. Oh my god. Like, those tunnels would still have to be maintained. If you're gonna fucking use them. Across the entire globe, coastal cities like ours have struggled to find civil engineering answers to rising sea levels and subterranean flooding that satisfy financial, practical, and aesthetical concerns. Historically, most scientists have attributed this increase in sea level to climate change, though there are dissenting voices. Water rises and falls all the time for reasons we do not fully understand. Are we to... It appears that you have 0 free articles remaining this month. Of course. Please verify your account information in order to continue reading the stories that matter. Oh my god. Oh my god. It is just so sad that, like, the news websites that actually, like the real news websites do this to people, while the absolute trashy ones gives everyone free articles forever. Ah, Jesus Christ. Ballsy of them putting the paywall there. As if I'd reach my wallet having to read a word like aesthetical. Besides, I got the gist of it. The takeaway is that the city will be focusing its efforts on the canopy, obviously. Media literate? There'll be increased scrutiny surrounding the canopy now that there's no plan B. It's a massive project with a massive budget. Lines the pockets of a lot of people, big and small. None of them would appreciate bad press at the moment. Not when Councilman Long's already thoroughly chummed the waters. Alright, I've taken all the scenery and learned as much as I can here. Oh, wait, I think we have more articles. Okay, no. No, we've already read that one. Let's see. Before we do that, let's read these. Data pads. The lightweight portable electronic devices known as data pads have no significant internal storage capabilities and can only display what is streamed to them from local networks. Originally marketed as a replacement for ecologically wasteful newspapers, magazines, and flyers, data pads quickly became infamous for the difficulty and expense involved in recycling them once their limited lifetime components expired. Yeah, I would think. It wasn't until they were rebranded as ideal for privacy and security that data pads found success in their private and public sectors, where their ability to display location-locked content helped corporations minimize data leaks and give their advertisements targeted geographic relevance. Today, data pads are a mainstay of high-traffic public spaces and virtual physical hybrid workplaces, despite remaining unpopular with most environmentalists and bibliophiles. Conductive resin. Though it outwardly resembles plastic or glass, conductive resin is actually an electromagnetic polymer used in a wide variety of stationary or portable devices, where its unique properties allow it to act as both a display and processor, enabling ultra-thin or even transparent electronics. There are upwards of 100 different patented varieties of conductive resin, each intended for different use cases, industries, and environments. But they're all fairly lightweight and fragile, except for the small handful formulated for military and security applications. Because of its widespread use in high turnover products such as datapads and smartphones, producers of conductive resins are frequently accused of engineered obsolescence by consumer rights groups. Though these claims have never been proven before a court. Screen cracked? Schedule a fix here. Alright, and we already read that. I've taken in all the scenery and learned as much as I can here. Time to get checked in. It booted up fine. So far, so good. Good morning. Morgan, here for the public defender contract. Could you please provide your name and... Great. Oh, please stand still for a moment. I wouldn't call intake hollows charming. More like harmless. But that's probably what the designers were aiming for. People don't mind a quirk or two in their text so long as it never speaks out of turn. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble placing you. Could you please provide your name and date of birth? So far, so good, was it? I think I'll go for the card. Say, why don't you just scan my ID card? Great. Now could you just confirm your date of birth for me? Why do they even bother asking? My birthday's on the damn ID card and my profile. I'd have to be a world-class airhead to get this question wrong. No problem. My birthday's... Here we go. Oh, now we can access this. December 26th. Likes puzzle, smoking, wooden furniture. Dislikes commercials, hairdressers, jogging. Can fall asleep in any position. Coffee decaf. Drink whiskey sour. Waitlisted. Nice. I would do the same thing. Oh my god! You're as tall as me! Finally, someone who knows my pain! Oh my god. December 26th. Perfect! Good morning, Morgan Counselor. Thank you for your timely arrival and for taking on this public defender contract. If you're ready to speak to your client, you can proceed to counseling quarter 3C. Is that what we're calling it now? You mean the interrogation room? I'm sorry to have caused any confusion. My vocabulary is regularly updated to better reflect state standards. Don't sweat it. I can't keep track of every new euphemism either. They could call it the involuntary wellness check room if they like. Doesn't change the way it makes a person feel, sitting in a stifled box of one-way panels. Nothing to see but their own reflection dully warped across gunmetal walls. Morgan Counselor, can I help you with anything else? Choices that progress the story forward will cause other options to shrink away when selected. Choices that take the conversation down side paths and before returning to this point will not. I see. Ow, that's so cool because of the article you read earlier, unlocked additional choice and dialogue. Read and examine at every opportunity to build up your knowledge and get the most out of every conservation. Okay, so... Ah, yep. What are you? I'm a smart user interface. Proudly sold by Noble Electronics. Thank you for asking. If you're interested, I could send you a link with information about our subscription packages. Should I send you a link with information about our subscription packages? No. Sorry. That was a mean question to ask. Huh? I know the city's not terribly concerned with the lower wards, but this is a police station. Why is it so goddamn dusty? This facility is currently undergoing renovations. Since when? The 60s? It has been 22 months. Oh, months. Since the timetable was last updated. They really don't see a lot of action around here, do they? Hey. Okay. Good thing I didn't miss that one. Always do the blue ones first? Okay, thanks. Thanks, Almirage. I'm sorry for any inconvenience you might have encountered. I'm adaptable. What about you? They ever gonna fix that crack? Thank you for asking. It does not interfere with my work. Well, that's all that matters, right? That'll be all, thank you. You'll find the counseling quarters past our homicide detective's office. Through the door to your right. Thanks. But I think it's just me for now. So you could go on break if you'd like. Automated dependents do not take breaks, Morgan Counselor. Then what were you doing before I walked in? You'll find the counseling quarters past our homicide detective's office. Through the door to the right. Thank you. Ads don't get breaks and they don't get my jokes. But it's usually the humorless types that are the most fun to mess with anyway. Eyes gone bad or some... A voice. No, voices coming down from down the hall.
Compared to yours, probably.
Thank God I stopped for directions. A building this empty, the desk could have just told me to follow the echoes. One voice sounds older, rougher, and decidedly low energy.
Appreciate you worrying about me.
God forbid I try to be serious. While the other rings with youthful indignation. It's not like our job is important or anything. Definitely cops. And at this precinct, at this hour, they might be the only two living, breathing people in the whole complex. Because why else would you bother to print all that out?
One document with 100 looks the same on a datapad. Anytime you question a suspect, you need to have a heavy file in hand. Makes them think you know them better than the priest, their mother,
Their big brother.
I wasn't gonna say that.
So how many of those sheets were blank then? Hey, got it right. No red carpet tonight, officers.
Oh, sorry about that, ma'am.
Hello, humanitarian. Welcome to the stream.
We don't keep many extra hands around at these hours. Probably faster to let the desk handle intake anyway.
But mostly cheaper. You the lawyer? I am. Morgan Esquire, pleased to meet you.
Same here, Counselor. Kasim, London. And this ball of sunshine here is my partner, Farah Reyes.
Ball of sunshine. She certainly is.
Sorry if you were kept waiting. Chatter between the departments have been hectic all night.
It's no trouble. Gave me time to enjoy my cigarette. Cigarette? Like tobacco? What are you, 80? She can't be more than a few years younger than me.
We're, the detectives in charge of this particular case. And it looks like tonight we're also your humble guide to the illustrious homicide department. Apologies in advance for any cobwebs.
Pretty sure I've seen this London character around the courthouse before. He never struck me as more than just some old-timer. But I suppose being an old-timer is an accomplishment in and of itself in his profession. Sunshine is definitely a new face, though. Rigid in her posture and her attitude. 3 in the morning and her shirt still looks ironed. Freshly promoted, maybe? 2 whole detectives working at these hours. Sounds serious. Unless you were just the first to arrive on the scene.
No, we're not nearly that timely. Uniform responded to the emergency calls within a few minutes. Calls plural. Must have been quite the commotion.
Look around. You think we're the first to arrive for anything?
She's not wrong. We were only tapped after circumstances at the scene indicated involvement with an ongoing investigation.
Our ongoing investigation. Not very subtle, is she? But I may as well bite at this point. So, you suspect that this client of mine is involved with some separate criminal activity?
Wait, did they really not?
No, I guess they wouldn't put in a public defender's briefing.
Look, consider this a little professional courtesy. Fair warning, yeah? That's the heartbreak killer in that room.
And we've got the bastard dead to rights. So if you're kind, you'll help him plead it out. And if you're smart, you'll pass the shitstorm out to some other night owl and go back to bed. I'm not feeling particularly kind or smart at the moment. So perhaps in the meantime, you'd be so polite as to fill me in about this heartbreak killer. They cover utilities at the rock you live under? Is there a problem?
You're seriously not familiar with HK?
Never heard of him. I've heard enough of him for a lifetime. Nice! That name has been plastered all over the city for weeks. Their crimes wavering between breaking news and urban legend. Their presumed goals flip-flopping from unadulterated anarchy to unappreciated vigilantism. At street corners, in the media, on the net. Everyone's indulging in the exact kind of armchair detective speculation that I can't stand. But right now I need to figure out exactly how much the police do or don't know. And when it comes to cops, I always get better results playing dumb than I do acting smart. I take it he's a repeat offender. Was it the killer part that tipped you off?
You must have at least heard about his MO. Media's gone crazy with it.
Along with everyone else.
1 bullet straight through the heart. Body left alive where it falls.
Hence the name Heartbreak. Not exactly creative, but amidst the swirl of every other 100-word article out there, catchiness trumps originality.
What you won't read about online is that all 6 of his HK's victims were shot by the same gun. Without even needing to reload.
Damn. Horrible to say, I know, but 6 for 6? That's pretty good shooting, isn't it? Hitting the bullseye at the shooting range is good shooting. Doing it 6 times in a row, it's great. But shooting 6 people with accuracy like that?
It's a whole different beast.
Dick's a certain kind of monster. A real freak. His pulse probably didn't even rise. I see. You almost make him sound like a machine. Is it possible that... No, it is not. There's no such thing as killer robots, madam. Of course, my mistake. So those androids marching in the military, those robots patrolling in police uniforms, those drones dropping firebombs from the sky. I guess they're all finally firing blanks.
Fair enough. Machines can kill, and they have been for decades. But they don't commit murder.
Right.
Evil like Heartbreak is all organic.
That's a pretty terrifying thought. I should really start paying more attention to the news. How we managed to miss 6 murders?
Well, you can only blame yourself for missing 5.
Pardon? You're still not getting it? HK's 6th victim was found a few hours ago. When we caught the son of a bitch red-handed. So you're convinced that my client is this heartbreak killer, and tonight was just his latest crime? That's a serious accusation with very serious consequences. I take it you have serious evidence to back that up? I was being literal, counselor. Red-handed. When we found your client, he was covered in her blood. Well, that's not good, is it? What you say certainly sounds compelling. Is that lawyer talk for open and shut? But even if that's the case, how does one crime scene make him look good for 6 murders?
It's all there in the Discovery files. And the ARCs, of course.
Oh, is that our court record? Alright, we got more profiles. Heartbreak, unknown, criminal likes killing, just likes getting caught. Favorite color probably red, probably not into astrology. Reward suspended due to influx of false reports. London, date of birth May 5th, height 186, weight 78. Blood type B+. Homicide detective first class. Likes photography, dive bars, bangs. Dislike ties, pollen, after hours work messages. Listen to podcasts, hobby pencil sketching. Frequently running late. Ferris. 162, weight 63, blood type A-. Date of birth October 19th. Homicide detective third class. Likes rice, limes, automotive history. Dislikes liars, small plates, cheap people. Enjoys watching product reviews. Bad at games of chance. Right eye, Osiris, Elite 86. Oh! Oh, she has a bionic eye. That's cool. Automated dependent. Abbreviated as AD and referred to in common conversation as ad or ads. Automated dependent is a catch-all term encompassing robots, intelligent programs, interactive holograms, and androids. Ads are present in both digitally and physically in every industry and nation on the planet, assisting in everything from data management to physical labor. In the mid-21st century, lobbyists pushed through new tax classifications that defined intelligent machines that were neither salaried employees nor mere equipment. Because it afforded tax breaks and lighter tariffs, the term became so commonly used that it spread to all branches of robotics industry, from which point it became to penetrate into everyday speech and pop culture. Some sociologists argue that the term owes its popularity not simply to its brevity and prevalence, but to its ability to draw a distinction between the commonplace, robots, androids, smart UIs, and the internationally illegal artificial intelligences. Searching for this term may incur an account flag. Read more about how we cooperate with authorities to combat disinformation here. Damn. Seeing results for augmented reality crime scene. Oh, that's cool. So it's the okay. So it's that thing. It's that thing from Edgeworth's investigation. Is investigative tool in which data harvested by the sensors worn on first responders is used to reconstruct a digital copy of the pristine crime scene. Programmed and distributed by a small number of tech corporations and frequently modified or even personalized by local municipalities. ARC systems are used by every major police force, most insurance investigators, and many law firms. After its introduction in the early 2060s, technology briefly came under public scrutiny with the independent news organization United Media Casters. Released a series of reports claiming that ARC's data was regularly edited by corrupt officials to erase state secrets. These reports were later found to be fake, and UMC was exposed as a subsidiary of a cell corporation within Lambda Work Solutions, who were marketing a number of alternatives to ARC's technology at the time. Board members at Lambda denounced the actions of said cell and offered assistance to their former competitors in suing leadership at UMC, but the proceedings and settlements in those lawsuits remain sealed.
Join the local netting a phone and we'll turn over everything you need.
I'll bet. Thanks for that, Detective. I'll be sure to read it over. But if it's all the same, could I ask you two some questions while I've got you here? The hell kind of attorney wants to interrogate the detectives? This kind of attorney. You're just that pleasant.
Come on, sunshine. Not like we're gonna be punching out anytime soon, right?
Whatever. Let your clients do an interrogation all night for all I care. You mean the counseling quarters?
We're at your disposal, counselor.
Ah, so cool. Oh, here we go. Latest Noble androids receive warm welcome. Bolstered by a strong earnings report and surging sales to the Animate 16, Noble Electronics stock rose a stunning 3%. This week's to a new record high, while Noble's latest iterations yet to surpass the sheer popularity of its predecessors, and increased profit margins left Noble shareholders very enthused. Many investors were skeptical when, at their now infamous 2084 trade convention, Noble announced that the 16th line would be the first generation of androids to feature 50% organic components. Damn! That's crazy. So-called warm androids, which at the time only saw demand in the health, senior, and childcare sectors, were looked down upon as impractical due to increased maintenance costs, cuts, scratches, bruises, and the like. And while some critics voiced concerns that fringe religious or traditionalist groups might find warm androids controversial, more businesses-focused minds revered that Noble was alienating its customers in the industrial and military sectors in order to cater to civilian consumers, users that viewed their androids from across the room and not from above the factory floor. However, as has often been the case in the last decade, Noble's doubters were proven wrong. The Animate 16 is poised to break profitability records, with no signs of slowing down, and many industry analysts predict that these once rare organic androids will completely replace their more robotic predecessors in daily life within the next 3 to 5 years. As described in the earnings report, much of the 16th line's success, and indeed the success of Noble's androids in general, can be attributed to the remarkable lifelike, personable charm of their products. And by all accounts, their charm can be attributed to the work of Noble's famed lead programmer, Dr. David Asher. Lead programmer is the understatement of the century, said Noble brand ambassador Lucy Dees on stage at their latest Noble Industry weekend. His because it's because of his Turing solution that every noble product, from the sleekest assistants to the most advanced intensive care technicians, are so beloved and trusted by our customers. While his reputation was on full display at the event, Dr. Asher himself was nowhere to be seen. He's always been reclusive, but he's become a genuine hermit in recent years. I really to believe that he's still... Hey fam, looks like you're not logged into this device. Want to put in your account info so we can help you keep reading? Shh. Fuck off. He's in the news again. It's no wonder. Can't spit without it landing on a piece of noble tech these days. Especially not when the state's involved. Don't know if they'll bite when it comes to war androids, though. For government use, they just... Now, for military use, they're too frail. But for government use, would it be too expensive? Damn it. It's too expensive to justify. Wait, oh, god damn it. Oh, fuck. Never mind. All androids undergo wear and tear, especially if they're directing traffic or suppressing crowds. Save's coming, yes. So if these warm androids bleed pink all over themselves every time they take a rock to the cheek, it's just an endless stream of bad photo ops waiting to happen. There's an anti-save scum mode for later chapters? Oh, fuck. Damn. Oh, I see. Oh, it's like a choice you can do. Oh, that's really cool. Loose wires, missing panels, an aircon system that probably sweats more than the people it's supposed to cool. No room in the budget for making the office not look like shit, huh? I expected to find a lot of belt tightening at Homicide. But I didn't think their operation would be this bare bones. They've got a stunning clearance rate and they worked fast. Guess the city sees that and just assumes their job is easy. Maybe their job is easy. Or without dear doting surveillance state limiting so much of the footwork. Damn, I love the models here. Ah, it's so cool. And they're doing the Danganronpa style cutouts. But if your wheels don't squeak, you don't get your palms greased. So Homicide ends up at the only state department with a shrinking budget. A dumping grounds for the police force's most unambitious and least popular. I love the vibe! This is absolutely my aesthetic. Barren, stark, and uninviting. That's what be Reyes' desk. Keeping your workstation neat and tidy is admirable, but I can't spot a single mode of personalization. Is she so new she hasn't had time to unpack? Or is she really that uptight and boring? Huh. Both, maybe. You shouldn't have cleaned up so much just for little old me, Detective London. Someone really needs to introduce this guy to a filing system, or even just a stapler. Paper documents scattered about lazily, alongside actual photographs. Either he's really old-fashioned or really paranoid about data leaks. And he doesn't look like the paranoid type. Well, orderliness aside, some things are better in paper, I'll give him that. Okay, nothing else jumps out at me around here. I've got a better idea of who I'm dealing with, at least. Now I need to check out the crime scene data. I should have been sent a link. Grant access to state files regarding case KL33511. KL433511. Apply C to confirm. Oh my god! You need to reply C in order to confirm. Am I talking to a person? I am an automated dependent. Ads are usually more polite. Our personalities are tailored to suit our users' preferences. So the state likes you to be a little authoritarian. You need to reply C. C. Oh my god. Is it gonna fuck her over for not doing a capital C? It's case sensitive. Oh, for the love of God! C. Thank you. Shh. Alright, if I project my phone. Augmented reality crime scene. Alright, let's see what the police have and what they think is important. The murder weapon. A revolver found right next to the body. 6 empty casings found in each of the 6 chambers, meaning the gun's been fired 6 times. Looks like the crime scene techs practically disassembled the damn thing. But all they found were fingerprints belonging to my client. So he was found by the police with the murder weapon right in front of the body. I don't even know where to start. Highly prejudicial would be an highly prejudicial would be an understatement. The victim's body. Cause of death, ballistic trauma. Class 4 blood loss, atrium and aorta. Single gunshot wound to the heart in brief. Death was instantaneous. No injuries anywhere else, and no blood or skin under her nails. Blood splatter, forensics, and all that other good stuff tells them that she was shot from there. So the killer was standing in the doorway when they fired. A stand-up mirror shattered and knocked over. Real glass. No screens or cameras here. It was hit hard. Hard enough to come unattached from its arm, while shards of glass were scattered. Far enough to land on the victim's body. What a mess. Seems like this vase got tossed aside at some point. And yet there's not a scratch on it. Must be pretty damn durable. Isn't art supposed to be delicate? Maybe it's making a statement. That's all the big ticket items. What about security? Looks like the apartment was unlocked all night. It's not uncommon for people in their age in a neighborhood like this. Really? Damn. Why would you leave your door unlocked? But no signs of forced entry only hurts my client's case. What about the rest of the room? There's not much else flagged here. Just a lounge chair that got thrown and whatever that is. Unidentified ceramic debris. Flag is irrelevant. That's their technical assessment. Guess even the crime scene techs weren't sure what to make of it. Okay, that's everything the police highlighted. But did I miss anything? The hell is that? There we go. Ah! Something in the victim's hand. How the hell did... It's just a pill organizer. Looks like some immune adjusters, NSAIDs, and tripexazone, a synthetic glucocorticoid medication. Taken daily to reduce rejection symptoms like phantom pain and generalized itch. The autopsy said her tox screen was clear, but it's not like it matters. She could have swallowed every medicine cabinet in the city and it still wouldn't change the cause of death. It's odd, but ultimately irrelevant. Everything here is all very incriminating, but the kicker's everything that's not here. No out-of-place DNA, footprints, crumbs. Nothing that points toward anyone except my client. Well, I've done more with less before. But not much more. I'm really gonna have to sing for my supper this time. Better get stuck. Who the hell's messaging me at this time of night? First person who comes to mind is... I suppose it could be something important. Brat! Who is this? Is this Hermia? What couldn't wait until morning? Good news, OMC! Got a job for you. That's a pretty cheery way to tell me you violated parole. Well, not that kind of job. Science, I've been covering my tracks. This is something different. Okay, so they're a hacker. I think I can handle with just a keyboard and phishing scheme. I need you to sue my gym teacher. Not that kind of lawyer, sorry. Hey, at least let me finish. What did they do? Make me run laps. Hey, Herlock, welcome to the stream. Not illegal. Let me finish! They made me run laps! Even though I said I had a stomachache! Said. Gotta be like... youth endangerment! Depraved indifference or some kind of shit! Sounds like you've already got a strong case. Try self-representing this time. What's with the blow-off? Nice phrasing. Oh, wow, I'm laughing so hard right now. See? Is that your mugshot? I wasn't gonna not get a copy of my mugshot. And use it as a reaction. I'm glad you found a use case. But I'm working right now, so... Anything cool? Homicide. Oh, cringe. No! What? Wait, what kind of homicide? Is it HBK? Is that the kind of morbid thing kids your age talk about? Teens my age. And yet we can read. Compared to the corruption in the headlines. Old-fashioned murder, like Hardy B, is like... quaint. It's not heartbreak. Then why'd you take the job, lol? See the 98% conviction rate as a challenge or something? Take him a lost cause, pro news work? It's pro bono. That was autocorrect. No! That would totally do that. You know they give lit homework for a reason, right? It's borderline concern nagging. Maybe you really are a bleeding heart. Or just a sucker. I'm not a sucker. Nice phrasing, lol. You should go to bed, Fran. Is that her daughter? Tomorrow's Sunday. I can stay up if I want. Tomorrow is Sunday. Because today is Saturday. What the carpe diem shit? It's nearly 4 a.m., kid. It's got school in like 3 hours. What? Shit! Repeat offenders may be good for business, but that kid's bad for my blood pressure. Important text message, I take it. Just your typical teenage drama. That's so cool. Is she a mom? Ah. Do we have a profile? Let's... Oh, no, no profile. Oh, yeah. We have to click it because we already... Yeah. Ah, we have our court record here. Common brand pill organizer. Contains a number of prescription over-the-counter medications. Clasps are surprisingly difficult to open. Revolver, 6-chamber, well-maintained but old. Has flat left-hand fingerprints on it. Ceramic debris of indeterminate origin found at the crime scene. Found at the far side of the room by the western window. Technician's note, flag is irrelevant on next pass. Glass shards. Piece of glass from broken standing mirror found at the crime scene. I love the reference this is to Turnabout Sisters. Very cute. Said mirror was a low-tech furnishing with no digital components to pull data from. It with enough force to scatter shards of glass from the victim's body. Waiting search remains featureless even after being tossed. Ah, here we go, the autopsy report. I wonder if it's gonna get updated. Time death 9 p.m. Ballistic trauma. Single bullet pierced the subject's sternum, left atrium, and aorta. Death was instantaneous. There's some handwriting at the bottom of the scanned document. Same handiwork as previous 5 lab message to confirm ballistics match 2. ARC's data. Victims will shop from the room's doorway. No unexpected DNA. No unexpected crumbs. No unexpected fingerprints. No evidence of digital tampering. IoT, an Internet of Things, versus the network data sharing that goes on between all the countless electronics that we monitor ourselves with. Phones, computers, security systems, biofeedback devices, body modifications and prosthetics, and of course automated dependents. All comprise small but vital parts of this network. Without IoT's ability to collect, process, and share information, massive opportunity costs build up as individuals, governments, and private businesses miss out on the valuable insight that data has to offer. One of the coolest ways that IoT improves our lives is through the usage of crumbs, small package of data containing your own unique identifying information. Throughout your day, as your own IoT devices say hi to other devices, leave behind crumbs as a parting gift. Ooh. Damn. Crumbs allow for paperless identification and payment, and help the government manage human and vehicular traffic. Crumbs let you see where you've been so you can see where you should go. Want to start leaving crumbs right away? Don't worry, crumbs are enabled by default. Oh god. Oh my god. Jeez Louise. So then, if you wouldn't mind filling me in on a few details. Alright, so we always do these first. By the way, I couldn't help but notice that you're light on staff. It's 3 in the morning. Were you expecting a parade? I thought there'd at least be a few androids around.
How many androids in any police station this week? Not while the brass is renegotiating contracts.
Contracts with Noble?
Good guess.
Hardly. They're the biggest. Hardly. They're the biggest robotics corp there is. Could spend all day in Center City without leaving their office's shadow. Yes, we're very fortunate to have them headquartered here.
Save us some money on shipping at least. But these talks never last that long. I'm sure they'll be back to writing checks for Noble ads by the end of the month.
Even with Noble pushing those warm androids? Warm? Ugh. Might as well call it the adult line. Yeah, that's what I figured.
But seeming the bigger departments are out on patrol, but not around these offices. Warm or cold, there's no such thing as an android detective. Yet.
Yet? You really think that'll happen?
We already use ads for patrolling, securing the scene, pacifying crowds. Doesn't seem like the big stretch to me.
You're joking, right? Android detectives? With all the pain we go through getting witnesses to talk to us? With your warm personality? I can't imagine. Cop knocks at your door, starts asking questions. You're gonna be put in a bad mood. An ad knocks on your door, calls you a degenerate criminal in a synthesized voice, loud enough for the whole neighborhood to hear. You're gonna start posting shit that'll get you put on a list.
Well, we certainly don't want that. Flesh and blood witnesses are becoming less and less common anyway. Cameras, sensors, satellites. We already get all the facts from machines. Give it a few more years, it might make sense to let the machines do the investigating too.
The union would... The police union wouldn't let that happen. Hello, Rockbot, and welcome to the stream. She needn't have specified. It's the only real union there is anymore. So, how about the basics? What exactly has my client been charged with?
Your client, Carlos Baca Flat, was arrested on the scene at 9:50 p.m.
Using his middle name already. They really do think he's a serial killer.
The charge being the first-degree murder of his girlfriend, a Miss Diane Dawson.
First degree? That's...
Increasingly rare.
to say the least. It's rare for us to get handed anything but crimes with passion around here. City's got damn near more cameras than people. So you gotta be really, really stupid to try and get away with murder. Well, Heartbreak's gotten away with it 6 times. So what's that make him? 5 times. And that makes him insane.
I was gonna go with extraordinary.
Let's split the difference and say he's extraordinarily insane. But nut jobs like that are renowned for their ability to think ahead. So what makes you think this was premeditated? How about the fact that he stalked and killed 5 other women as a warm-up? A warm-up?
5 previous bullets, 5 previous victims. None of them knew each other, lived near each other, or even worked in the same fields. Weeks of digital autopsies crawling up and down their online profiles. Nothing.
So this serial killer chose his victims at random. if they have nothing in common... Yeah, nothing in common at all. Other than they all look like cousins. Oh, so they all look similar. Huh.
The physical similarities are striking. All 5 prior victims were young women with brown hair and eyes, about the same height, comparable weight.
Well, those features aren't exactly uncommon. Could it be a coincidence? If you really believe that, you should quit your job and start buying lotto tickets. HA's got himself a type. Anyone can see that. You really gonna try and tell me you don't see the resemblance? A young woman, brown hair, brown eyes. Can't tell how tall she is from a portrait, but I can take the hint. So you think what exactly? That Carlos Flat wanted to kill his girlfriend so badly he went out and shot 5 other women first? Hey, if the shoe fits. If the shoe fits. Then you put the shoe on the... Huh?
What sunshine means is that it's not uncommon for killers to displace their violence from people close to them onto outlets with fewer consequences.
Drifters, loners, strangers, workers.
He was probably building up the nerve for tonight by first practicing on these other similar women.
Or he's just so far gone that he can't tell the difference anymore. It's not the worst theory in the world, but it doesn't fit. They want to claim that those previous victims were practice runs, dress rehearsals for tonight's main event. But if that were the case, there'd have been signs of hesitation, nerves. There'd have been mistakes. On top of which, guns are impersonal. Execution shots even more so. There's no sadism or hatred or intimacy in a single bullet to the heart. Killing your girlfriend or her lookalikes usually is, if nothing else, a lot less sterile. Wait, what was that? What the fuck was that? If you ask me. What the fuck was that? What was that? Oh, some hints to future plot shit, I bet. I saw the time of death was 9 p.m. on the autopsy. But you have a timeline for the rest of the night's events. Can't trust much of what comes out of his mouth. But we managed thanks to less biased sources.
And we're pretty confident about what we've been able to piece together from the statements.
So they've interviewed witnesses. Sounds eerily similar to real police work. The suspect and his girlfriend were arguing loudly with one another starting around 8 p.m. Ah, there's her cyber eye.
Neighbors were very clear about that part. Couldn't wait to tell us all about the happy couple's domestic problems.
Everyone in the building knew they'd be fighting for weeks. They'd been fighting for weeks.
As you probably gathered from what you saw in the arcs, there was a struggle. Furniture turned over, glass shattered. But things go so quiet sometimes. Things go quiet sometime before 9 p.m. And then there's a gunshot.
Scrubbers are still scrubbing, looking for audio from the area to get a timestamp. We heard from enough concerned citizens to be pretty damn sure about the time.
Right. The Emergency services got a burst of calls from the block shortly after 9 p.m. No one seemed to recognize the sound for what it was, but the silence that followed was pretty universally alarming.
Officers arrived at the street on 9:08 p.m., established a perimeter, entered the open front door at 9:10 p.m. And then they find your client crouched over his dead girlfriend, his hand covered in her blood. At which point they move to secure the scene and the suspect. Sorry, did you say his hand singular?
Your client's modded cybernetic right arm.
How modded are we talking about here? Registered with HOW 85 Habilis. Industrial grade, looks like. Says you spec for dexterous manipulation of up to class 4 KPA, which means a minimum grip strength of... Well, basically. He could crush your neck without even gritting his teeth. Considering a career change? No, it's not that. It's just... Your eye must be very sensitive for you to put the patch back on each time. Oh yeah, that's right. She's putting it back on. And here I thought you just had a 14-year-old sense of fashion. You think a cop would cover up her dominant eye because it was fashionable?
I actually thought the same thing the first time we met.
You what?
Getting back on track, that arm of his has been in the shop for some time now. He can't work without it. Money got tight.
The arguing.
Yeah.
When did he put his arm in for repairs?
8 days before HK's first victim was killed.
Well, no chance they'd be willing to chalk that up to coincidence.
Your client was arrested on the scene after a preliminary scan found his fingerprints on the revolver. And no one else's.
A revolver? What kind?
The old kind. The real old kind.
More specifically, a Calver M54. 6-chamber, 10mm. Calver? How retro.
You don't know the half of it. We're talking steel chamber, real gunpowder, mechanical firing pin, and no tags.
No tags? How is that? Just how old are we talking here?
Yeah. 24/7 location data, timestamp trigger pulls, safety's coded to owner biometrics. For the past 3 decades, tags have made shooting crimes very, unambiguous.
So you're claiming my client used some kind of antique to commit these crimes?
How else do you think he'd have gotten away with this 5 other times?
If he tried to buy a gun legit, he'd probably fail the very first psych check. And even jailbroken pieces are only good for so long before update withdrawal sets in. So then, M54, that's...
Model year 2054.
a 30-year-old gun. Alright, so the current year is 2084. Well, that sure complicates things, doesn't it?
In some ways, sure. The pre-tag and firearms are rare. Gotta be less than 1,000 of them left in the whole country, and fewer still compatible bullets.
The ammunition would have to be over 30 years old, too.
The novelty of his weapon has kept us in the dark so far. Now that we have our hands on it, it's gonna be put him away for good.
Archive department complained loud as hell about how deep they had to dig. With the protocols they found, the techs were able to match the rifling marks on all 6 bullets to the gun your client was found with. Rifling marks. You know, they don't even need that. I like that they use this as an excuse to go over these terms. That it's like so outdated in their technology that they, it's novel.
Bullets fired from guns that old are marked by the barrel shape.
So if all 6 bullets had the same rifling marks, we know that they were all fired by the same gun.
It's not as plug and play as tags are, but it's equally precise science, I assure you. And if that's not damning enough, the cement casings from the other 5 shootings were still in the chamber.
Damn. So, if he is innocent, then the real killer left the gun at the scene. The gun is absolutely the murder weapon. It feels like the murder weapon of HK. Without even needing to reload.
The carver your client was found with is the gun HK used to kill 6 women. No way to lawyer around that.
An untagged gun. Just being anywhere near a weapon like that could warrant your arrest. Being found by the police over a dead body with an untagged gun, used at 5 other crime scenes, is just... To summarize then, you believe that my client fought verbally then physically with his girlfriend, and then he retrieved this weapon and shot her. Yeah, pretty much. How did he look when the officers found him? Guilty. How was his effect? Quiet, detached, stiff.
Not exactly the picture of a grieving partner.
That reaction may have lost some points with the cops. But beyond that, people react to loss in all kinds of unusual ways. And so long as the police are suspicious of you, there's no right way to grieve. Checking my phone here, and I have to say, you've done a pretty admirable job keeping the details of HK's crimes a secret. The less reputable sites are doing some real journalistic acrobatics trying to piece together a story. Yeah, top 11 theories on who hurt HK was a real witty read.
It's not just journalists, though. All kinds have been emboldened. The freaks that HK's managed to bring out of the woodwork in just a few weeks.
Can you blame them, though? I mean, he's a genuine serial killer. Repeat offenders in general are an endangered species, but he's gotten away with... We know what he's gotten away with! Take a look around us, Detective. National DNA registry is robust enough that cases never go cold. Cameras on every street, a phone on every citizen. Violent crime at an all-time low and clearance rates at all-time highs. But, you're gonna spout some alt-pol bullshit about invasion of privacy? No, I'm not. People are safer now than at any other time in history, detectives. So when something like heartbreak does come along...
Good point.
London's trying to look like it can laugh it off. But pressure from the higher-ups must be reaching its peak. They want, maybe need to see someone charged. And that... makes them predictable. What is that? What is that? Yeah, well... Even if there's nothing standard about HK, Department SOP still dictates we starve the meaning of our case details.
That way when we do feed them, they're grateful for whatever scraps they get.
We can't take all the credit this time around. Homicide's tight-knit and tight-lipped, but it's not like there's much information for us to leak in the first place. And why is that? Because none of the shootings were caught in the opt-in crime surveillance system. How is that even possible? I know that there's some rough areas in the lower wards, but Optics is watching every other street in the entire city. You're saying you haven't seen this killer on camera once? You think we'd have let him kill 6 people if we did?
I understand your concern, ma'am, but Optics is only what it says in the name. Private surveillance system signed up to feed into the state security network. It's not perfect, just another one of the many public safety tools in our belt.
It's not meant to be perfect. It's meant to help us solve crimes. Or at least act as a deterrent. One would hope so. Fat chance. Deterrents are for war rooms and board meetings. Anyone crazy or desperate enough to commit a crime in a city like this couldn't care about anything as vague as the consequences of their actions.
It's like a safety blanket, one with very few holes left in it. But it does have holes. Patching up those remaining holes takes effort, and that effort usually means rebooting the system. There's all kinds of technical details and digital bureaucracy involved, but the end result is that there are occasional localized blackouts. And the math used to schedule them is not impossible to predict.
I see. But those windows of opportunity are small and short. Taking advantage of them requires specific knowledge. You need to be involved in law enforcement, pub data, or city planning. They'd have mentioned it if my client was a cop, and he wouldn't have needed a public defender either. His file says he's modded for every mass manipulation, not tech interfacing. So that just leaves city planning. So he does work construction for the city.
HK's only ever struck at times and locations where Optics will be down. Even with the devil's own luck, can't possibly be a coincidence.
Wait. So you're saying when this woman was killed? Yeah. There was a blackout from around 8 to 9 tonight. Right on schedule, so to speak. It included the area surrounding the victim's apartment. Well, what about DNA from the other crime scenes? Was my client a match?
There's been no blood, no saliva, no suspect DNA at any of the crime scenes.
No footage and no forensics.
Also, no motives, tampering, or witnesses. It's been like on that damn Ghost. We didn't even have a murder weapon.
Until now. Finally, a lucky break for the boys in blue.
Scanners, cams, drones, forensics. No matter how you dress it up with tech, all detective work relies on one basic assumption. People make mistakes. But HK is the kind of monster who doesn't make mistakes. Only reason we ever even caught him tonight was because he finished what he had set out to do all along.
So was my client on the list of suspects before tonight? Weren't you listening? There was no list of suspects.
We questioned some execs, X's, a few CIs. Someone even spoke to one or two unlisted at some point. Nothing came of it. I was talking about starting on some kind of psych eval or something. But I never expected much to come of that. There's just not enough to work with.
In other words, the only thing that they have, the only thing that they could have to link to my client to those killings, is the murder weapon. If I can jostle that keystone, then the rest of the case should start to come loose as well. Thanks for the chat, detectives. I think I understand the background well enough now. Candidly, I see the same strokes you do, and the picture it paints isn't pleasant. But even so, it seems a bit unrefined to be brought before a judge, don't you think? Hey, it's only our job to catch the bastard. The DA is the one who gets the conviction. Besides, we're not exactly gonna have to work hard to convince anyone of his guilt. And why is that? Because we found a handwritten confession at his desk. Ah, damn, they saved that for last. Well, that's, unexpected. I'm sorry, you're now telling me he wrote a confession? Has it been verified?
Not yet. We have to muscle past everyone in fraud and disinfo to get to the front of that line.
Why bother? The note's covered in his fingerprints.
As a cop bringing discovery data, but I should warn you, it doesn't exactly make for light reading.
I'll have to manage somehow. I need to see this confession for myself. Sorry for everything. Can't say it enough. Didn't mean to hurt you or do what I did. Did not want any of it to happen. Can't stay in control when I get mad. When I'm not in control, I hurt people without meaning to. Wish I hadn't broken them. Didn't mean to at first. But I was hurting. Wanted you to hurt too, but didn't want to hurt you. Words aren't enough, I know that now. I'll take responsibility and do what I've been avoiding. Please forgive me. Huh. I wonder. Damn. That was difficult to read. Barely legible, in fact. Well, gotta spin on that. No need. But it's a confession. Not a confession that he signed, though, is it?
Not yet.
And not one he intends to sign anytime soon, considering that he asked for representation. Yeah, the most wanted man ass in the city asked for a lawyer, and got you. Guess you're both lucky. Hardly. I just happened to be awake when the call went out. But I'm not so flush with work that I can afford to turn tail now. So if you don't mind, I'd like to go and speak with my client. What? He's not still handcuffed in there, is he?
Look, counselor. With all due respect, we have strong evidence pointing to that man being responsible for 6 murders. 2 hours or so in cuffs isn't cruel or unusual. And that's for your safety as well.
It's kind of you to worry, but I doubt I'll be in any kind of danger. He's killed 6 women. None of them were redheads. Shh. Seriously, though, I'd like to speak with him alone now. Camera's off, if you don't mind.
Mic's on or off is your call, counselor. Well, we'll be watching the feed from right outside in case anything happens. And the cuff, that is, stays on.
That worried about me? How chivalrous.
Yeah, my arm is practically blind.
Gross. Start up the unlock cycle.
Counselor, just one last word of advice. If any interest in his well-being, I suggest you help him sign that confession.
Not a bad idea. I do get paid either way. But the defense part of defense attorney isn't just for show, detective.
I mean it. 6 people dead is one thing, but he's also caused weeks of widespread terror and public unrest. Putting it another way, he's made the state look bad. That's a capital crime if there ever was one. And even if the death penalty is not actually on the table these days, I can guarantee he's not gonna like whatever rehabilitation plan they draw up for him. Look, I've seen the virtual work release program in person, and it's
being challenged before the Supreme Court.
yeah, sometime in the next decade, maybe. Just remember, a plea deal might feel like a loss for you, but if it keeps them from, well, that's probably a win for your client, right?
Prison sentences are generally lighter for those who plead guilty, that much is true. It saves the courts a great deal of time and money, and they show their gratitude with the reduced sentencing. But no one will ever be grateful towards the Heartbreak Killer. Anyone convicted for killing 6 people, they'll never rest their mind another day in their life. 3:35 a.m., June 5th, 2086. Oh, there he is. It's depressing as hell in here. I need to liven this place up. Carlos flat, right? Hope you don't mind if I get comfortable. We've got a lot to cover. But this shouldn't take all night.
What are you? Look, I already told you people I didn't...
I'm not a cop, Carlos. Furthest thing from it. I'm a lawyer. Your lawyer, in fact. And I'm here to help you.
Yeah, well... They said that too. All of them did. Back there, in here, kept repeating it all right over. They said that they were going to help me. That they knew that this was all a mistake.
Damn.
Then they said that I killed... Acting like they were on my side. And then they thought that I could have... That I...
It's not their job to help you, Carlos. But it is mine. And I'm here now. He's still in shock. I need more information. But if I approach this the wrong way, he'll just clam up even more. I'm sure you're exhausted. It's probably difficult to think, let alone speak. But I'd like you to try and answer a few questions.
The police already...
Questioned you, I'm sure. But they were treating you as a suspect, not a client.
Okay. So what do you want to know?
Alright, let's check it out. Let's check out all our evidence first. We got a lot. Victim Diane Dawn, 27-year-old agricultural genetics researcher for Peregrine Laboratories. Found shot through the heart in the bedroom of the apartment she shares. Prime suspect Carlos Flat. No one known connection to previous HK victims. Sex with prosthetic. How Industries Habilis 2085 mechanical limb. was an impressive combination of grip strength, dexterity, and low cost of maintenance. The success of it and its sister products went a long way towards securing state contracts for Howe Industries. Revolver, Caliber M54, 6-chambered M10mm revolver. Bears fingerprints matching Carlos Bacher Flat's left hand with 99.91% certainty. So I'm guessing he picked up the gun. Just like Edgeworth did. Rifling marks matching the bullet which pierced the victim with 99.97% certainty. Ha! Rifling marks match the bullets from previous heartbreak killings with 99.98 to 99.989% certainty. No matches to any other archive forensic data as far back as 2051. We already read the note. His coat. The coat the suspect was wearing was taken into custody. Taken by lab techs for additional analysis, but blood initial tests show blood on the left sleeve matches that of the victim. Virtual work release. Hey there! Due to ongoing controversy following the suspected suicide of inmate Jay Galay, search results for this term were temporarily blocked. Ooh. Alright, so that's basically a cyberpunk fate worse than death kind of thing. Forced to work like while asleep. I assume like work his brain while non-stop while he's asleep. That's what it sounds like. The Opt-in Crime Surveillance System, abbreviated Optics, is a partnership program between the state and private enterprises that allows for the free sharing of surveillance data and security to better promote and preserve public safety. Accessible through state employee logins or private partner accounts, Optics Smart UI allows users to search through and collate footage from city of terms, tens of millions in such a few simple keystrokes. Optics is frequently cited in state reports as one of the most effective tools for reducing crime, and footage from optics is often serves as a key evidence in criminal proceedings, where it is considered admissible by default. See People vs. Erewhon. Users also frequently search for public safety measures in my area, data security level, not scrubbing. Versus the process of scouring all available data posted on the net with a certain time frame and location range for evidence of a crime. An increasingly common technique for police departments, corporate investigators, and occasionally public relations firms. While the brute force work is performed by automated dependents, either digital or physical, experienced human supervisors must establish strict search constraints in order to produce useful results. Interest in the practice spiked when Senator Bancroft positioned as a key pillar of his party's law and order platform, but pollings indicated voters rarely held a strong opinion on the process, and the topic has since faded from political discourse. Mods, body modifications, term that may refer to cybernetic prosthetics, artificial implants, neural enhancements, or any combination of the above. While body modifications have been seen throughout history in a whole wide range of cultures, the modern body modification movement is differentiated by a shift from intrinsic factors, expression or identity, to extrinsic motivators, job opportunities, technological benefits, improvements in physical or mental ability. Historically, mods have been classified based on which section of the user's spinal cord the interfacing occurs at, thoracic, lumbar, or cervical. But this system does not account for mods which interact directly with the human brain. The increased prevalence of so-called above-the-neck modding in recent years has led to several corporations and medical organizations proposing their own new classification systems, but so far none have gained much traction. Users also frequently search for Can You Return mods, Can You Undo mod surgery, Rescue Neural Implants 2086. Hey there, it looks like you're trying to search for a term related to an ongoing investigation. Until the authorities made their findings public, results may be heavily curated or temporarily unavailable. Digital autopsy. The law enforcement process of locating, bypassing authentication on, and investigating all of a deceased individual's online profiles. Commonly used to seek out possible connections to suspects or other victims. The widely utilized practice has been scrutinized in the past by some privacy advocates, but many victims' families who lack the ability to find, let alone access all their deceased loved ones' accounts, argue for its necessity. Comparable processes are offered as a paid service by some legal or funerary groups to help next of kin recover or delete sensitive personal data. At times, these services have been marked as a defense against data criminals, attempting to steal the identities of the dead before their accounts are wiped by state processes. Users also frequently search for grave robbing, how to stop stolen identity, how to delete dead profile. Oh, grave cobbling. Huh. Calver. Manufacturer of civilian firearms from 2031 to 2062, when it was brought up by Thortec. An acquisitions group specialized in security and national defense, now a subsidiary of the Lock-Coon Defense Corporation. Though no guns have borne the Calver branding since production halted in 2060, the once iconic brand was briefly revived in 2071, Q2, with a series of video game memorabilia tie-in promotions meant to increase in-game item sales, before being discontinued in 2071 Q3 for failing to increase in-game item sales. Oh, he's still shadowed for some reason. July 8th. Criminal records, civil disturbance ×2, no charges. Registered at birth. Industrial modifications class 4. Alright, let's get started. Let's start simple. Something mundane, grounded, rote. I'd like to know a bit more about you first, Carlos. Something like, what line of work are you in?
I'm with City Engineering. Or I was, or I should be.
As I thought. The police must be convinced he mapped the optics blackouts using data he stole from work.
My arm, I got it slotted for the job. And,
Carlos, I'm gonna need more than that. So what do I know? He works in city engineering, not a desk job. Reyes said he was modded for work, and that arm must be in custody at the moment. But based on his shoulder, it had to be pretty... I'm gonna say utilitarian. Safety save. Utilitarian, yeah. He doesn't strike me as the type who is enamored with the aesthetics of modding. The young and the restless and the rich swapping in neon and chrome limbs because they like the way it looks. Or the way it makes other people start looking at them. No, he's pragmatic, grounded, and very unlucky. In which case, I should be too. You know, my brother wanted to mod.
really?
Really? I don't even have a brother. No. He had everything planned out, a whole career path of promotions and bonuses, and the upgrades they'd afford him. Then came his 18th birthday present. Hello, Adon. Welcome to the stream. Test results politely informing him that he's not a viable candidate.
That sucks.
I think he felt relieved, actually. Seemed like it was a weight off his chest. Like he was glad he didn't have to choose. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think it does. I always figured if I'd start at all, I'd start small. A hand or an eye. Test the water. Never thought about lobbing my whole damn arm off, but the recruiter was enthusiastic. He said, because of the NCDA, there was financial aid and resources. Of course, that just got shit canned. So now me and every other mother is royally screwed. Couldn't even let me keep that tax credit.
The new Citizens with Disabilities Act was amended, not repealed. But I doubt he'd appreciate the distinction at the moment.
I worked at tighter spaces. The high volatile environments mostly cannot be upkeep. Typical stuff from others, you know?
He's speaking freely now. Don't need to do much more than repeat his words back to him to keep him talking. But the right word choice here or there can still make a difference. You work on the canopy. You must be... You must be under a lot of pressure, now that the subways are cordoned off.
Damn straight. And this crap went long? Once word got out that the case against him was real, every desk job in that chain became terrified of their own shuttle. All of them convinced the internal affairs is going to come knocking if they misplace so much as a paperclip. Everything by the book. Means no room for compromise, no room for problem solving.
No room for engineering.
Yeah. And no patience for screw-ups.
He's trying very hard not to look at his shoulder. Why aren't you wearing your prosthetic right now, Carlos? I assume that's for a later game mechanic, Olga. The poker chips. Like I'm collecting currency of something.
Yeah, that. Rejection issues. Starting last month. A lot of sleepless nights.
Rejection? Did the therapy not take?
It's not like that. I wasn't oozing pus out of my sockets or anything.
Then do these rejection issues have anything to do with your scars?
Not in the way you're thinking. I'm right-handed.
Oh, God. So those cuts on his face are just from shaving.
Never thought this had gone so long I'd have to relearn how to do everything. I mean, the problem started small, trembling. But then spasms. Just oversensitivity, they said. An easy fix.
But the problem got bigger.
Wouldn't let it get that far. Need to be able to trust your own hands when you're on the job site. Drop a cutter at the wrong moment and people could get hurt. So I sat down, made an appointment, turned in my arm, and watched my case get placed at the back of that damn line.
I have no idea what Wani is. Where did you turn it in?
Some ass turnaround shop with a waiting list like you wouldn't.
It doesn't sound like you're a happy customer.
Hell no! I found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times. But as long as I'm renting and not owning.
The manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance.
And that's why I'm sitting here with this expensive ass stump for a shoulder. I haven't been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I've got two working arms again.
You couldn't buy or rent a replacement yourself just in the meantime?
I serve at the pleasure of the state. And they've got exclusivity contracts with Hindi, all locked up in white knuckle tight.
Hindi? How Industries? As I recall, he's registered with one of their Habilis models.
If I took one step on site with uninsured tech, forget the fines. I'd lose the down payment and my arm. I'd never work in this city again. If this was like last quarter, maybe I could have worked something out with management, but... Like I said, no one's sticking their neck out for anyone now that belongs in deep hot shit.
You mentioned discomfort. Are you in pain?
Pain will come and go. It's the itches that get you. And the phantoms come back pretty fast when I don't have anything. Arm shaped attached to me.
Didn't they give you something to... well, wear in the meantime? Something the clinics lend out for cases like this.
What they gave me is a deadweight, three-jointed landfill-bait piece of shit! Sorry, it's a very shitty feeling having a part of your body that you know they cut corners on. It fits, it's compatible, technically. I can slot it in and feel on balance again. But the fingers don't even bend, and the quick twitch motors are way off. It's like walking around with your arm asleep, or dead.
So were you wearing it when... Were you wearing it when you were arrested?
No, I wasn't. But I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging it as evidence, so... can't have gotten too far.
So Detective Reyes was being quite literal about how he was found.
He had the victim's blood on...
Oh, he had the victim's blood on his left arm only, because at the time in question he didn't even have a right. No inconsistencies in the story so far, and he's opened up about as well as can be expected. But this has all just been a warm-up for the both of us. Now comes the delicate part. What does that mean? Seriously? Seriously, what the fuck is that? God damn it. Carlos, you and the victim were romantically involved. How long did you two know each other?
Right. I've known her since college. We shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Always got along. Eventually, we just got together at some point. Guess I never actually asked her out the real formal way. Well, it's pretty cowardly saying that out loud.
Damn.
Diane, she was in genetics. Focused her studies on agriculture.
It always takes them a few tries to get used to using past tense.
Just finished her post-grad work this year. Got hired right out of the gate. Practically headhunted. You believe that? Practically headhunted.
Thanks, Don.
Of course she was. And the company'd be lucky to have her, unlike... It was a real ass job. Paid real ass money, too.
So her career was starting to pan out. Right as yours had been fallen into the mother of all slums. Where was she hired?
Pedigree? No. Peregrine Laboratories. I say that like the name matters. The whole setup's under Harco's umbrella.
That doesn't narrow it down. The Harvest Corporation grows a third of the soybeans and corn in the entire country. This is just making me want to play Cyberpunk again. One client that size, the lab wouldn't need any others. Now, no corporation earns the mega prefix without a little throat cutting, but Harco is about as tame as big businesses can get. Predictable like the seasons. No one's gonna buy that they had some lab tech murdered because of corporate greed. Had she adjusted well to her new job?
Yeah, they loved having her there.
She never mentioned any arguments or disputes. Corporate politics getting rough?
I don't think so. Not like I've been a good listener lately. I never got the impression that she... Look, no one I know could do this to her. And there's nothing she could have done that would deserve what happened to her.
It was a long shot, hoping for a disgruntled character from a past to shift blame onto. But with no other suspects, I can't just reshuffle the detective's suspicions. I'll have to disprove their argument entirely. Thank you, Carlos. That was very helpful.
It was?
Now, I'd like you to try and tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight.
Oh.
Start at the beginning and take your time. The details are important.
All right, Miss...
Morgan.
I'll try, Morgan.
Whenever you're ready.
We were arguing. We had been arguing a lot lately. Arguing about stupid stuff. I haven't been working, haven't been making money. Haven't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself. But more than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous over nothing. Jealous over goddamn money.
The reports say you were arguing around 8 p.m.
8. Yeah, must have been when we started. We got into it and I said a lot of things that I shouldn't have. And I said one thing that I really, really shouldn't have. I crossed the line and we both knew it, so I left.
You left?
Yeah, walked out the front door. Thought some fresh air might help me cool off. Help me figure out what to say to make it up to her. Of course, the air wasn't fresh, just humid. Thick like mud. And while I was pissing away the time, Diane was...
Did you bring your phone with you or any other electronics?
No. I kinda stormed off. Didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind me.
With optics down, traffic and street-level cameras won't help him. That leaves... Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with modded eyes? Did you buy anything, cash or credit?
No, not even a vending machine.
Not even a damn vending machine, huh? I may have met my match. How can anyone be this unlucky? That's... quite unfortunate.
I just wanted quiet at the time. Wanted to wallow in it, really. Sorry if I don't have all the details straight. My head is... But if my exact route would help, the cams probably... What? What is it? Optics was what? Can that even happen?
And there's no other proof that you were out at the time Diane was killed. Meaning you've got no alibi.
This isn't... This can't... Listen, I didn't do this. I couldn't.
Carlos? I'm the one person you don't have to try and convince. After all, I'm your lawyer. So let's just get it all out there and see what we've got to work with.
Right.
No, you said you left to clear your head. So what made you come back?
I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. Didn't know what it was. But it was loud. And it scared me. And it came from the direction of our apartment. I was walking back at first. But at some point I must have started running, because when I got back I was so out of breath. And when I saw that the front door was open, something dropped in my chest and my lungs wouldn't.
You live on the first floor, right?
Yeah, first floor apartment, street facing entrance. We were proud of that when we first moved in. Like it was some kind of big deal. From the hallway I saw her, but I didn't realize. I never thought that she was... The lights were off. The whole room was a mess. I thought we'd been robbed or she had fallen or... There was broken glass, furniture knocked over. And she was... I called her name and she didn't move. I checked her pulse and she was still warm. Her blood was warm. And I saw the gun.
Oh, the gun.
It looks so heavy, but I thought it had to be fake because I didn't want it to be real.
Is that why you picked it up?
What? Pick it up? I didn't touch that thing.
Huh.
I didn't shoot her, damn it!
Doing what I do, you hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, hasty lies. Bad lies especially. For me, it's always been easy to spot a lie. But it can be hard to know what to do about it. I have all the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous and defensive. And none of this works if he doesn't trust me. Stay up to date details of all evidence by checking your phone. Clients notice that you don't know what you're talking about. They'll stop giving you any credit. All right, let's check. Well, yeah, we already saw that he has fingerprints on the gun, so it checks whether you've read your evidence or not. This rental. How Industries Bronzier 2081 prosthetic limb. An affordable model. Customers frequently cite issues with finger articulation and quick twitch movements. Alright, so this is something that couldn't have possibly shot. Like, this one is like the pathetic... He wasn't wearing his super arm. He's wearing this pathetic one. Records show Carlos Flat was provided this model while his Devilish is being repaired, but he claims to rarely wear it. Flat's pathetic. How Industries, yeah, and this is his real one. Yeah. Most impressive grip strength, dexterity, and low cost of maintenance. Alright, yeah. Submitted 5 weeks ago at How Partner Prosthetic Adjustment Clinic. Average waitlist duration of 40 business days. User reported sensitivity issues. Oh, here we go. Luck poor. Student debt sizable. Favorite flavor poppy. Dislikes cabs, musicals, cashiers. I love cashiers. Phantoms, showing stuff for phantom pain. Oh yeah, we know what a phantom pain is, but yeah, that's just a common term. And become more widely experienced and understood a result to spread a body modification movement. Debate over whether the mod is seen as increased or decreased public empathy for amputees, disabled remains contentious. Did you mean phantom visions? Phantom visions are caused by faulty insulation on cybernetic eye mods. Resulting in periodic electrical discharge across the retina. Schedule the consultation immediately. She's like, oh god, the chat is fucking up. Hold on. There we go. God, it was only doing top chat. For fuck's sake. Schedule consultation immediately. Suspect this applies to you. Your results are frequently searched for. My mod hurts, moderate itching is my arm haunted. Ooh. Mod therapy, the process of adjusting the human mind and body for the unique challenges and stresses that come with cybernetic body modifications. Typically includes physical therapy, mental technique, instruction, and sensitivity training. Depending on an individual's viability or lack thereof, medications and even minor viral tuning may be employed to modify the body's immune response. But improvements made in recent years in medically sterile alloys have greatly reduced the percentage of the patients require such treatments. Hindi. Showing us for How Industries. How Industries is the world leader in research, development, manufacturing, and fitting of cybernetic prosthetics for commercial and private use. And we're hiring. We're seeking motivated and passionate archivists, programmers, salespeople, and college graduates with degrees in digital archaeology, cybernetic anatomy, and more. You did touch the gun, Carlos. That's just a fact, and we know because... It's a fact that your fingerprints are on that gun.
What? But I...
Hello, Licorice. Welcome to the stream.
I didn't do this. I didn't. I wasn't thinking. I was just...
Carlos, all I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all.
Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun?
That explains how his prints got on the gun. But not in a way that would satisfy the police. Still, if all he did was hold the gun.
So stupid. I know what a gun looks like. But seeing it in my own home, right in front of...
You were in shock, Carlos. You still are.
The police came in sometime after that. I don't remember much of what they said. Things started moving fast, it seemed like. The rest of my night went probably the way you'd expect.
Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diane. But you said you were surprised to see the room trashed when you got back. To clarify, you're saying that you two never had a physical fight.
What? Physical? We never fought. We never fought like that. Did the police say that we did?
They assumed as much. Which means they also assumed the room was disheveled well before the shooting occurred. Considering what Carlos has told me, what else did they assume?
What is it?
I'd like you to take a look at something for me. The crime scene.
Oh.
It's an AR module built from data taken as the police entered, so...
Alright, it's just that...
It's just data, Carlos. No grisly details.
Okay, let me see it.
Take your time.
Alright, I think I've got it.
That's how the police found things. Now close your eyes and think back to how the room looked when you left. Try and focus on what's out of place.
Alright.
I'll take notes. You just say whatever comes to mind.
I don't remember exactly where everything was. But, well, the mirror was upright, of course. And that clock was still on the wall. The chair got knocked over at some point, and the bed got tossed, the cushions torn. And the urn fell. Other than that... No, sorry. That's all that stands out to me.
I see. Like so. What's wrong? Something out of place? Carlos, you need to trust your instinct. If anything seems off, don't be afraid to speak up.
It's just... I guess I assumed your notes would be making edits to the AR.
Well, I suppose that works too.
Sorry, I didn't mean... I think your drawing was pretty good, considering.
I'd like to change the subject now, Carlos. Plot statement. Mirror. Oh, here we go. Mirror's upright. The clock was on the wall. The chair was knocked over. The bed got tossed. The cushions torn. So the chair, the bed, and the cushions were normal. Were rather not normal to begin with.
Right.
Let's talk about the letter that was found on your desk.
Letter? What do you mean?
I mean this letter here. Do you recognize it? Because the police are calling it a confession.
A confession? But this is just a note to self.
Pardon?
Look, when we fight, I lose my temper. Say things I don't mean to. So this morning I tried writing things down so I'd have a script to stick to. So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her.
Carlos, you say in the note that you hurt them.
That's...
Oh, God.
I broke her fidget tubbies.
Oh, God. What a way to phrase that. Her what? Her what?
Her fidget tubbies. They're these collectible ceramic character things.
Is that the ceramic debris?
They're supposed to be like tactile. You use them as paperweights or like conversation starters.
Conversation starters?
She loved those little things. They're not worth a damn. You can buy them at any flea market or garage sale, but they mean a lot to her. And I broke them. I mean, I was pissy at the time, but that goddamn piece of shit rental arm, I hardly even know what I'm swinging at half the time.
How could he have shot the gun with that arm? Collectible and fragile ceramic conversation starters. Victim's personal collection was pulverized by Carlos Flatt's replacement prosthetic arm on the morning of the murder. Evidently an acquired taste.
I got so angry I just ripped it off and tossed it in my room. That cheap, dusty, worthless...
Okay, let's say he did break up Frigiduckies with his replacement arm. What does that change? Nothing at the moment. There's not enough detail in the note for me to prove what his intent was when he sat down to write it. But if the police insist on claiming it's a confession for the Heartbreak killings anyway.
Couldn't even bother to sweet them up, I felt so.
All right, Carlos, thanks for answering my questions. I'm going to call the police back in here. I'm going to get this cleared up for you.
What? That's it?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Although before I do that, I do have to ask. What do you know about the Heartbreak Killer?
Heartbreak? You mean that psycho that was trending all month? I mean, as much as anyone, I guess. I haven't been getting out much, but I'm sure everybody's on edge. A guy like that out there. He shoots people through the heart, right?
The police have kept the victim's appearances far away from any upstanding news sources. So unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblance to his girlfriend.
I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that's just... That doesn't mean anything, does it?
If he's this slow on the uptake, it's gonna be a real shock when those officers walk in here and accuse him of being a serial killer. I'll just have to squash that theory as quickly and definitively as possible. 4:04 a.m. This might be a good place to stop, actually. Let's see.
I didn't, huh?
Oh, let's do this scene first. This looks like a big scene.
I didn't realize you could smoke in here.
Technically, I can smoke wherever I want. For a fee. Damn!
I guess so.
Nervous? Don't be. I'm the one who's on the clock.
Right. I'm sure this isn't your first time doing this.
No, of course not. It will be my first homicide defense, though.
Oh.
Why does everyone always think the first time's so goddamn important? Hey, cheer up. I've got relevant experience in other areas.
Oh. And, what areas are those?
You ever gamble, Carlos?
No, ma'am. I never go anywhere near loot boxes. Won't touch this stuff.
I mean more like playing cards.
Oh, well then, no to that too. I've actually got pretty terrible luck.
Could have fooled me. Well, what I do is a lot like poker, Carlos. Poker's nice because even if you've dealt you're dealt nothing but crap all night long, you can still win, which makes things pretty fun.
Okay, so, do you have a good poker face?
I like to think so.
And are you lucky?
Only when the stakes are high.
And, in this metaphor, we're playing poker, and the state's the dealer.
If only. No, the state's more like the house.
You mean like the house always wins?
Yes. They're very good at it. Winning, I mean. That's why they're up there and we're down here. That's why they're the house.
So what do we do?
We play the cards we're dealt as best we can. Win more hands than we lose. Keep it up and eventually someone will come over and tap the dealer on the shoulder and whisper something in their ear. And then we'll be politely asked to leave.
That doesn't sound very triumphant.
The house always wins. So our definition of victory is more like, don't lose.
Thanks, Morgan. But I guess I was more asking like, what should I say?
Just leave all the talking to me.
So that's the strategy? What's up?
You know there's a saying about gamblers with strategies. Yo. Ready to confess yet? 'Cause I already woke up the DA. Already? She must be new. The district attorneys have final say on whether or not a case is brought to trial. Only fair, since they're the ones who end up having to actually prove the damn thing. Most of them prefer simple guilty pleas over long protracted trials. And they all dislike having their time wasted. Unfortunately, then you'll have to call them back. Because my client is not guilty. And frankly, I'm not even sure you have enough to hold him here.
Right. Oh, what she said.
You've got a weird sense of humor, counselor. Different generations, I guess. Before my time kind of thing. Okay. We'll stopping here. Okay, we'll stop here then. It's gonna start ramping? Alright. Alright, so next time, I think we'll get into the, we'll get into the, confrontation part, the debate part, which I'm really excited to see. Really loving it so far. Y'all know I love this aesthetic so much. Oh, never mind, the save is right there. Oh my god. We'll continue on Tuesday. I cannot wait, you guys. So, until then, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You're all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.